Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Midday Live. I am Wendy Lai. The headlines for this hour. The Ghana School of Survey and Mapping has been reopened following clashes which led to the shutdown of the school. Government says issues surrounding the demarcation of the school lands have also been resolved. Bad roads at German South District in the Bonafo region in a large number of vehicular accidents in the Drobo-Brekum road network, constructed less than 10 years ago, developing life-threatening potholes. Also in the bulletin, NADMO threatens to demolish structures in waterways in Kumasi as a 2-hour downpour claimed one life, while over 50 homes in Amafro here in Accra have been flooded following heavy rains on Saturday.
Anyway, we're being sincere that unity can work, it will work.
Former President Jerry John Rawlings calls for immediate steps to bring back to power the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, as the party marks 25 years of its existence. And on the international front, the second son of the late former Libyan leader, Muammar Gaddafi, is said to have been freed under amnesty, but his whereabouts is still unknown. We have details of these stories and many more, including sports and entertainment, coming up shortly. Please stay. So we're starting with our stories this afternoon. We head straight to the Volta region, where we're told that hundreds of residents in Agaveji and Blekusu in the Ketu South district of the Volta region have been rendered homeless following the tidal waves that swept the town Saturday night. This is a perennial occurrence which always displaces residents and causes damage to property in the area. The Dufia of Agaveji appealed to government for the construction of sea defense to protect the coast from the ravaging waves. Other displaced residents said they need urgent government support. Now, we're told of a similar fate that has befallen the people of Aplabanya in the downwest district of the Greater Accra region. Fishing nets have also been buried by the sea sand, with seawater entering rooms of residents, resulting in loss of property. So, going on to the phone lines, I will be speaking shortly to the Ketu South Municipal Chief Executive, Edem Elos Adbenowu, who was at the scene, and he's going to give us some and tell us some more of exactly the extent of damage and what is being done about the situation. Thanks for agreeing to speak with us, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Can you tell us about the extent of damage so far?
Hello.
Adam, thanks for agreeing to speak with us. Can you tell us about the extent of damage so far?
Yes. By 3 o'clock this morning, the tidal waves have taken over many houses, have displaced many people and property. As it is now, I'm currently at the scene. I've organized the NADMO, local NADMO, and what we are doing presently is to record the various communities. The way the whole thing happened, many people will not be able to sleep in their various houses today because as it is now, the sea is still taking over the place. So we want to see some classrooms for them immediately so that they can seek refuge. But as I talk to you, many properties were lost and many houses were also displaced. Many people do not even know how to actually handle the situation now. But we are in control. The regional NADMO is also on their way coming to assess the extent of damage. And we'll see immediately some relief items that can be given to the people.
Now, this is a perennial disaster in the area. Why hasn't there been a lasting solution to this very problem? Can you hear me, sir?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Adam?
Yes.
I'm saying that this is not the very first time such a disaster has been recorded.
Hello?
Why hasn't there been a lasting solution to this problem?
Yes, as I was saying that houses were displaced, and the community, the youth of the community, we are redirecting the water from the sea to the lagoon. Thank God there's a lagoon just across the road. Currently, that's what we are doing. We've got some machines and some pumps, and we are redirecting the water to the lagoon. But because of the redirecting, the pipe that we were using, the vehicles are passing through the pipe and it's obstructing them. So what the youth did was they organized and blocked the road. But I've spoken with them. The police are in charge. They've now allowed vehicles to pass, and the water is actually being transferred currently.
Okay, Evan, the question I asked is that this is not the very first time such a thing has occurred. What is being done
There's
to...
a lot of noise here, so
Okay.
I didn't get a question actually.
Okay,
Now,
I'm asking that
again.
what is being done to ensure that there's a lasting solution to this problem?
Yes, they have started with sea defense project along the coast, but along the line before elections, the work has come to a standstill. So what I did presently when I came was to consult the consultants and also the contractors. And we have scheduled a meeting on Wednesday, even before this thing happened, just to know the history and the background, what happens before the construction did not or discontinued. Then we'll take it out from there. So the lasting solution is that the sea defense that has commenced, we find means and ways to complete it for our people so that our people can also live in comfort.
All right, well, thank you so much. I have been speaking to the Ketu South Municipal Chief Executive Officer, bringing you some more updates on this very story. And more than 50 houses at Amanfo Peace have been flooded following Saturday morning's downpour. Residents blame the situation on indiscriminate building on waterways.
The rains, which lasted for more than an hour, flooded many parts of the capital. At Amanfrom in the South municipality, several people were trapped in their homes as more than 50 houses were swamped. The only road linking the area to adjoining communities were not spared. A vehicle transporting goods to a nearby community was seen stuck in the floodwaters. However, some pedestrians defied the flood to cross to their various destinations. Some residents blamed their neighbors for building on waterways.
About 3 years ago, it was even more than this. And at that time, we had not seen much development. But then we were able to manage. And I remember one of the cars got stuck for about 2 days before we could remove it. If the district assembly can regulate the buildings, it will go a long way to help us.
He called on the South Municipal Assembly to swiftly intervene since most houses were constructed without permit. A taxi driver in the area affirmed the flood has impacted negatively on their day's work.
Because of the flood, people are afraid to commute. Commercial vehicles have also suspended operation until all the water have receded.
Flooding in the area is an annual ritual which requires swift intervention to curb.
Now let's go to Kumasi in the Ashanti regional capital, where the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, has served notice to demolish houses sited on waterways. The 2-hour downpour in the metropolis claimed 1 life and destroyed property running into thousands of cities. Ibrahim Abubakar has the rest of the story.
Most suburbs within the Kumasi metropolis experienced the 2-hour downpour on Sunday evening. The rains caused severe flooding in areas including Abuabo, Airport Runabout, Moshizongo, Pankrono Estate and Abrepo. A 3-year-old boy lost his life at Pankrono Estate, while hundreds of residents were displaced and property running into thousands of cities destroyed by the heavy rain. Most of the houses are sited on waterways, blocking the free flow of water. NADMO officials toured the affected areas to ascertain the level of destruction and to console victims for their loss. At Airport Runabout and Moshizongo, Deputy Coordinator of NADMO in charge of operations, Abu Ramadan, was alarmed at the indiscriminate erection of structures on waterways. He hinted of a demolition exercise to forestall the recurrence of such man-made disasters.
Let us not start singing political tunes. When we sing political tunes, we never get the job done. We would make sure the law is fully applied. We would urge all those who have built on waterways to get ready to be moved out of the waterways to allow the water to find its own way. And also, those who are not even on waterways.
The Ashanti Regional NADMO Coordinator, Kwabna Sentry, assured victims of some relief items from the organization. With the onset of the rains, residents living in flood-prone areas have been advised to relocate to safe places.
Back here in Accra, the Metropolitan Assembly has destroyed an illegal dam site along the Ring Road South, known as the Cliff site. The move is part of the city authority's effort to rid the city of filth.
2 weeks ago, the city authority served notice to demolish the Cliff site, which was a landfill site but was decommissioned by the AMA. The site was developed into a recreational park under the Kole Lagoon Ecological Restoration Project CLEP almost 2 decades ago, but deteriorated due to neglect. Earlier this year, a group of unauthorized persons opened the site for use as a dump site, which was mostly patronized by informal waste collectors for a fee. In order to reclaim the land and prevent it from use as an illegal dump site, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly Task Force, together with the police, stormed the site Saturday morning to enforce its directive. Several makeshift structures and containers were destroyed. Some of the residents who tried to impede the process were arrested. The Greater Accra Regional Police Operations Officer, Chief Superintendent Kwesi Ofori, said his outfit will conduct patrols in the area to help prevent the squatters from going back to the site.
A lot of the boys here are into drug peddling. Others also use the grounds here to attack people in traffic on the Kolibu, Abosiokan route. And we are here to provide adequate security.
Move up north, and the Northern Regional Directorate of Food and Agriculture is working hard at preventing the spread of the fall armyworm to save the Planting for Food and Jobs program in that very region. The Directorate says all is set for the Planting for Food and Jobs program to take off in the region. Eva Atibuka has more.
Government launched the Growing for Food and Jobs program to boost food production and also create jobs. The Northern Regional Food and Agriculture Director says inputs have started arriving in farming communities for the planting season. William Boache Echampong is optimistic of the success of the program, even in the face of the fall armyworm scare.
As for the armyworms, there's a way of controlling it, and we have sensitized all the districts and we have shown them the type of chemical to control them. But for us to make sure that the Planting for Food and Job works, and for us to get the volumes, we should be able to use what we call the good agronomic practices. We have to make sure that we perfect it well.
Although government announced feeder roads will be given the needed attention to complement success of the Planting for Food and Jobs program, this is yet to be done. The poor nature of roads linking farming communities in the northern region to market centres is a headache to the regional director. Meanwhile, at the time of our visit, 7 districts were already infested with the fall armyworm and still fast spreading. Bole was the first to have reported the worm infestation, and spraying has already been done. Several months of the worm infestation in Ghana is destroying several hectares of food crops, but a principal scientist at the Savannah Agriculture Research Institute in the northern region, Dr. Roger Canton, says the worm is controllable.
And we were able to contain the fall armyworm in our falls here. Not even a single plant was lost, which means it's not something we can contain. We know it and we can manage it. We have ideas as to its ecology, its biology. My entomologists, the protectionists, are well versed with it. It's not something we cannot manage.
The Food and Drugs Authority in the Northern Region has seized and destroyed large quantities of expired drugs, canned foods and drinks found on the market. The more worrying was the presence of baby foods on shelves despite being expired several months back. Eva Tibuka has more.
The expired items were identified and seized during the authority's surveillance in market, pharmacies and herbal shops. Large quantities of canned foods, drinks, herbal and scientific medicines running to thousands of cedis were seized and banned. Products including baby food lactogen were all way expired, yet sitting on shelves and sold to innocent consumers. The owners who spoke off camera say they have no knowledge of the expiring dates on the products. The Northern Regional Director of the Food and Drugs Authority, Martin Kusi, says sanctions are meted out to the corporates.
When we come to your shop and you have these expired or dented products on your shelves, we give you administrative charges. The charges ranges, depending on the quantity that we find in the shop. The larger the quantity, the higher the administrative charge.
Martin Kusi articulates the exercise conducted periodically is to ensure public safety. He, however, blamed the influx of expired goods into the region through unapproved routes linking the region from and to Togo and Ivory Coast. Martin Kusi assured the authority, in collaboration with the Custom Excise and Preventive Service, are hard at work at the borders to prevent entry of expired goods. He guaranteed the authority will intensify its market surveillance to get rid of expired products on the market.
Now to education. Interlocutory injunction has been filed against the Governing Council of the University of Education, Winneba. The application seeks to restrain the principal officers appointed by the defunct Governing Council from holding themselves out as officers of the university.
The University of Education was dragged to court over its refusal to reconstitute the defunct Governing Council and also the issue of award of contract authorized by the council running into millions of cedis. A former assembly member for Donkoyim and resident of Efutu, where the university is located, Supi Kofi Kwayire, initiated the legal process at the Winneba High Court on Wednesday, June 7th, 2017. Supi Kofi Kwayire is challenging the institution over a breach of Act 672 and the Procurement Act 663, as well as alleged misappropriation of public funds. Supi Kofi Kwayire is praying the call for an order of interlocutory injunction restraining principal officers appointed by the supposedly defunct Governing Council from holding themselves as officers, agents, or lawful representatives of the University of Education, Winneba. He's also seeking an order restraining the university, its agent, officers, and all persons acting through it from authorizing any payment to any contractor or supplier whose contract is a subject matter before the court.
This is Midday Live. We have more shortly.
How relevant are your skill sets with your evolving role in the workplace? At Benchmark, we only provide high-quality training in globally recognized professional credential to enhance your personal value in ACCA, CIMA, CFA, CA Ghana, PMP, FRM, including practical business application courses in financial modeling, computerized accounting, and many more. Contact Benchmark Learning Center, Okpongno Junction, Legon, or visit benchmarkghana.com. Be smart, be outstanding. Benchmark.
Women are the neck of every nation's economy. They are the babysitters, the cleaners, the cooks, and the event organizers of every home. The 21st century woman is not just domestic, but very industrial, striving to support the family and contribution to the growth of the nation at large. However, her contribution is mostly unnoticed. TV3, in collaboration with Brain Consult, presents Ghana Women Awards under the auspices of Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Watch Ghana Women's Awards Diary, the journey of women in Ghana, daring the difference, impacting positively the struggles, achievements and visions.
The Ghana Women Awards Diary, coming soon on TV3.
When the news breaks, reporters and anchors broadcast it. Analysts will talk about the impact of this on society. But current affairs will set the agenda for policymakers to implement it. This is what we do on Agenda. It's sharp, authentic, and hard-hitting. My name is Deborah Kwabla. Join us as we set the agenda.
Agenda now shows on Sundays at 3 p.m. only on TV3 and is supported by 3FM 92.7 across.
Thanks for staying. Time now for politics, and stalwarts in the National Democratic Congress have addressed a mammoth endeavor of the party to fulfill as they celebrate their 25 years. And some of the speakers, including former President John Mahama and founder of the party, Jerry John Rawlings, called for immediate steps to bring the party back to power.
I've had the opportunity to rule Ghana for 16 years. 8 years under President Jerry John Rawlings and 8 years President Mills and President Mahama combined. And we are proud to say that we have a proud legacy and a defensible legacy that we have contributed to improving the lives of Ghanaians.
Nodi wa biodi ayuodi bo febo yuoje sade ekobe femo embi hewale yo ne sade wa fe ekome ke wa fe ekomi e henje lo abayi wodo ke ba shi ngene ndi wo fe wa kwesinde kwa wo he wo ye ake wo fe wo ba kwesinde ke because ni wo lose election be more than wa
2016 election e boy homodin also nyane ehwe se ye pedon nyame afa maye enti emeka kra twemu na se entitie ba yetem yesi wenti ye di nkugo wenti when man buy but make us no me say me na me di enim ene ekọ okonum na say we nipa na odi enim ne ekọ okonum na mudi nkugo a ene o say woje eyini na eto so ente meje to be so say ye reorganization ni yie na party ni jina na nanso a ehu hia nipa obedi ye kan ye kwa ye bedi nkuli nyoma bi wo ho a e wo say saban omohwe bakone nyefeno political vigilantism munte three assemble yam yese yede yensa hihye akata so ana ye bibia enso kohwe se ebimu omampanyi eyi obi se onkoye security coordinator momo se mom pene so enti mako ni pay office akọ brono na ene yese no evidence obia woni NDC abreso ye adwuma no e wo se okofie na say me kan ho asem me say it's a bad precedent for our governance.
If we're serious, we're genuine, we're being sincere, that unity can work, it will work. And see, the ball is not in my court. Yeah, I'm fine to say me I don't forgive. No. I have no time for harboring things like that. But I'm a Danny monkey the word baboon the chop. Well, within NDC. Ya brand ya man. Inti I said there. We must come clean. I don't think you people know how strong you are. I know how strong we are, and I did nothing to undermine it. I survived for 10 years. Went to elections twice, and I survived 8 years. We are so potentially strong and powerful that we could virtually win every election all the time.
Hip, 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 hip! Hip, 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 hip! Hip, 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 hip!
Still on the NDC, the party turns 25 years this year, and the party has ruled the country for 16 years. Governance expert Dr. Lord Mauko Yevuga argues the party deserves credit for contributions to governance in the country. Jonathan Adams reports.
The National Democratic Congress (NDC) was formed ahead of elections in 1992, in which Jerry John Rawlings was elected president. The NDC lost the presidency in the 2000 elections with Professor John Evans Atta Mills as the presidential candidate. But in 2008, it recaptured power with candidate Professor Mills and John Dramani Mahama as vice president. Professor John Evans Mills died after a short illness in 2012 while in office. John Dramani Mahama, his vice, was therefore sworn in as president. In 2012, the NDC elected John Mahama as their presidential candidate, with Pakwesi Emisa Atta as his vice. With barely 5 months of vigorous campaign, John Mahama retained the seat for the party. But the NDC lost the 2016 elections to the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP. Dr. Mauko Yevuga is a senior lecturer at the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, School of Public Service and Governance.
If you're talking about the totality of the current constitutional rule, you cannot but to acknowledge that whatever credit that we're giving to ourselves as a new democracy within African context, that the NDC, having ushered the country to democracy and having held power for 16 years, within the period, then they deserve some credit for that.
He argues that the NDC has not been able to champion a clear ideology for the past 25 years.
If the NPP is implementing, let's say, structure adjustment or market-oriented neoliberal policies, some of us who study these things will not be surprised because they have not hidden the fact that that's what they believe in. Now, if the NDC goes to implement the same policy and they turn around to say they are a social democratic party, then some of us will have problems.
Currently, the NDC has formed a 13-member committee chaired by Professor Kwesi Bochwe to investigate the cause of the party's defeat. The committee is expected to present its report later this month. The party says it is devising ways to recapture power in 2020 as it marks 25 years of existence.
Now to the Bonoafo region, and the bad nature of roads in the German South district has resulted in a huge number of vehicular accidents. The Drobo-Brekum road network, which was constructed in 1998, has developed deep potholes. Here's a report by Tichi Johnson.
Roads in the district are poor. The German South district shares boundary with La Côte d'Ivoire. The border that links Kwame Krom to La Côte d'Ivoire was nearly closed down in 2016 due to the poor road network. This badly affected the income of the assembly. Currently, the Jape Krom town road linking Kwame Krom is an eyesore. The shoulders of roads in Kosibuo Krom are in deplorable state, leaving the foundations of houses exposed to erosion. Drivers complain this affects their investments. The district assembly says a 5-kilometer road surface redressing will improve the road network in the area.
It's a major policy of the government that every year or so they are going to tar 5 kilometers, routes of the town. So I believe that in no time some areas will be tarred, covering 5 kilometers.
The district chief executive mentioned communities including Yamansa, Tikese and Nyamifie as penciled for road improvement. While district assembly officials hope to attract more revenue with improvement in the road network, farmers are hoping promises to fix these roads will be fulfilled.
And traders within the Swamisap Metro of Kumasi, that's in the Ashanti region, have moved their trading activities from their designated markets onto the streets.
2 years ago, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly embarked on an exercise to rid the city of illicit hawking and trading on streets and pavements. Metropolitan City Guards arrested and prosecuted traders who defied the order. This instilled sanity to allow the free flow of both human and vehicular traffic. But the exercise was short-lived, leading to the return of the traders to the pavement and streets to market their wares. At the Swamisap Metro, the heavy vehicular traffic has turned a nightmare as the traders took over the road stretch from Suame to Kronon Afrancho. Motorists and pedestrians compete with hawkers and shoppers for the walkways and parts of the road, whilst the traders have a field day. The Suame sub-metro, however, wants to rid the area of hawkers to ensure free flow of traffic. Local assembly members and unit committee members supported an exercise to demolish structures erected on the pavements. Nana Kofi Senya is chairman of the Suame sub-metro and also the assembly member for New Suame. He expressed the resolve of the local assembly leaders to sanitize the streets.
You're still watching Midday Live. Sports and Thierry, what's happening?
Well, there's a lot, of course, there's a weekend where the Black Stars,
yes,
definitely going to be playing, so we are going to be looking at them plus some other news in the world of sports.
Scoreline?
I'm predicting a 3-0 victory for the Black Stars.
You are predicting a 3?
Yeah, I'm predicting a huge victory for the Black Stars. But of course, good afternoon. It's time to bring you all the latest in the world of sports with me, Thierry Nyan. Now, we get into the details, and we are first of all going to be beginning with the Black Stars, where Coach Kwesi Appiah begins his first major test of his second stint with the team, against Ethiopia at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi in a group qualifier for the 2019 African Cup of Nations. He is expected to present the country's strongest squad, yet to get their campaign off to a flying start. Steve Pollack, now coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, says the Black Stars players should be wary of the Ethiopian threat and also stay away from complacency as they look to qualify for the AFCON in 2019.
I believe they'll get a good result on Sunday. I believe that they will win with the support of all the Ghanaians behind them, with 35,000 people in the stadium. I don't think there's going to be a problem, but they just need to stay focused on the game for 90 minutes and don't lax off, because you never know with these, as they say, smaller teams. You never know what can happen. So there's just got to be alive for 45 and 45, and they'll be okay from that. There's a lot of key players, I think to win a game it takes the whole team, so I'm not one of these coaches who will pick out certain players, because I think without anybody else you can't be playing the game, your own game that you play. But if you're going to force me to say, there's quite a few really, isn't there? You got Harrison, you got Felix Anna, you got Afori, the other goalkeeper, you got Gian, you got Ayu, the both Ayus. You got Frank Archimampong. There's so many in there. So and I think if they can all perform the level as they do in the club, then I don't think there'll be a problem on Sunday.
Meanwhile, former Kumasi Asante Kotoko Chief Executive Officer and Executive Committee member of the GFA, Samuel Opokuinti, has hinted that the Black Stars are ready for the first task of the team. He says the ability of the players to get on so well will be our weapon for victory.
Well, throughout this week, I can say they are more than ready. I've been here watching their training, and the new and the old blending together, fantastic. You can't even, as if they have been called for a long period, you can see that the flair is there, knowing each other, the cohesion, movement, everything is there. So based on what I've seen, I think they are going to deliver. There has been a problem here and there between the supporters and the national team. And yesterday when we went to Malaysia, I think Otunfo in his own wisdom was able to say so many things and put things in order, and everyone has agreed and everyone understands the way forward now. So coming here is going to help a lot. The famine of not praying here has ended, and I believe the Kumasi Sports Stadium, the supporters, they have promised to come and cheer the team up.
All right, so we'll be crossing over to Kumasi to get some live updates, ahead of the Black Stars' game against their Ethiopian counterparts. But before we do that, let's go straight to the Ghana Premier League, where after 6 games on Friday, there was a game played yesterday. The Tema Harbour Boys, Tema Youth, moved out of the relegation zone with an emphatic 4-0 victory over resurgent Accra Great Olympics at the Accra Sports Stadium. Joseph Pinto let in early to announce his presence and on the field with a well-orchestrated team goal to put the visitors ahead. He got a second 2 minutes later, to put them in a comfortable shape. The Tema Harbour Boys continued from where they left off, in the first half, with a superb counter-attack which paved off for Theophilus Ogo to slot in another to make it 3-0. Now, Joseph Pinto wrapped it all up with his third on the day, making it a hat-trick for Pinto to finally bury the hopes of the Dade boys before the 90th minute. The game ended 4-0 in favour of the visitors. Elsewhere, Diana Stars will lock on with Kumasi Asante Kotoko on Monday to wrap up match day 18. In some other sports, we go straight to the bodybuilding arena and, of course, TV3's flagship, Ghana's Strongest. Week 4 of the show comes off this particular Sunday, June 11, that is this afternoon, at the Kotobabi Polo Park. Now, the event had, to be called off yesterday due to the torrential rains that hit parts of Accra. An inspection after the downpour revealed the venue for the event had become rain-soaked, compelling organizers to call it off, to protect life and property. Now, the event, which sees athletes exhibit their strength and muscles with techniques, is set to take center stage this afternoon at the same venue, that is the Kotobabi Polo Park, at 2 p.m. So meet us there, and we definitely will be having so much fun with these athletes. Let's go back to Kumasi now, and it looks as if Yao Fusalabi can now hear me. Good afternoon, Yao.
Good afternoon, Kerry. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Yourself? But before you tell me exactly if you have the team sheet, what exactly is the atmosphere at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi?
Well, it's a very blustery atmosphere now. I think that if you can hear the noise from behind me, the atmosphere is all of excitement, and a lot of people have said, and as I reported in earlier reports, that they are here because of Kwesiapia. They know what the man has done for them over the past, over the course of the period when he played for Kumasi Asante Kotoko for 10 years. And for that reason, a lot of them have come to the stadium today to support the Black Stars. And the Black Stars obviously are in good shape today. They want to outdo the Ethiopians. But I can see quite a number of Ethiopian fans over here as well. I think this is one of the largest opposition fans I've seen in Ghana in a very, very long time. They came in about 5 buses and they've already entered the stadium. They're taking their places and they're waiting that their team can upset Ghana right here at the Baba Yara Stadium.
But what exactly do you pick from the Black Stars players? Do you think they are much ready? The atmosphere obviously is very much electric, but the shape of these players you think is right for the game?
Well, I think the shape is very, very right. Yesterday, at the training session, everyone was fit and well, ready for the game. It was a drama session yesterday, so Langabell took his place as chief drama. They were dancing and there were a lot of singing and all of that. There was also a bit of drama from the Katanga Hall in KNUST, who joined the Black Stars to do all of that. And all the players were in very, very good shape. But from what we are picking from camp so far, it looks like Coach Kwesiapia will hand in starting lineups for Richard Ofori, who was the man who manned our post in the 3rd and 4th place game at the AFCON. He will probably start. Majid Warriors has been in terrific form, and from what I'm picking also from the Black Stars camp, it looks like Majid Warriors will be in the starting lineup. There's a place for Andre Ayew and his brother Jordan, as has always been the case, in Black Stars games over the period. But there will be a surprise inclusion of Jerry Akamenko. I am also getting that he might be able to start that game. And also at left back, possibly for the new boy Lumo Agbenyenu, who played for 1860 Munich, might also come in at the left back role. So that's how the shape of the team is looking at the moment. But with your question about how they are feeling, I think that everyone is in good shape for the game this afternoon.
All right, Yafo Sulabi, thank you very much for those updates. We'll definitely come back to you later on News 360 to, pick some reactions from that particular, game. All the best to yourself covering the game and the Black Stars ultimately. All right, so that's it from Kumasi. We did speak to Yafo Sulabi, who is at the Baba Yara Stadium, covering the game for TV3. We'll bring you every piece of detail you need to know right here on this particular station. My name is Thierry Winyan, and thanks for joining me here on the Sports Bulletin. This is Midday Live. Wendy Laye is going to bring in some more news after this.
And entertainment this afternoon, birthday photo shoots are the latest fad. Many celebrants are seen in stunning photos celebrating the new age with cakes, drinks and balloons. But what really is the history and idea behind this craze? Brenda Lutrot finds out.
Birthdays are joyous occasions when a person or institution celebrates the anniversary of their birth. It was the norm for first birthdays to be celebrated with photo shoots. In the past, birthdays were made more elaborate in most Western cultures with cakes and candles. In recent times, however, photo shoots are becoming the new craze. Recently, rapper Sarkodie and longtime girlfriend Tracy had a birthday shoot for their one-year-old daughter, Adlentisi Owusu-Addo. Actress and producer Juliet Ibrahim turned 30 and released some jaw-dropping photos to mark the day. Controversial actress Bibi Bright also shared some revealing photos where she wore no panties and bra in celebration of her 30th birthday. Songstress Efia Window also shared some beautiful birthday pictures on social media pages with fans as she turned a year older. Recently, TV3 Entertainment chanced on a shoot that looked somehow like a typical bridal shower picture. But what motivates these shoots? Is it the desire to be validated by the masses or simply the craving of attention? Well, a milestone deserves lots of pictures, especially the classic one-year celebration. But simple photoshoot decor with balloons, a hat, or a crown works well. The important thing is to realize that reaching age-specific milestones come with great responsibilities. Birthdays are the perfect time to start new traditions and resolutions.
And that'll be all for this afternoon. Thank you so much for watching Midday Live. Do enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm Wendy Lai.